Hello, gorgeous ladies of the Cash Program. So we're going to talk about hype. We're going to talk about hype because it is the new magic in sales. It's a strategy that people use now in social media sales. It's a strategy that people use in in-person sales. It is the magic of getting people excited. So instead of fear, which was a very big thing a few years ago, was selling out of fear, selling out of limitation, selling out of lack. Now, the new way is people have found they spend a lot more when they're happy and excited than they do when they're afraid. So creating hype around your business, creating excitement, creating that people care and want to see and are like, what's coming, is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to selling. Now, we've looked at You're Enough, and that was a huge piece. And we looked at your irresistible offer. Now it's time to look at how do we create the energy of hype and excitement around your offer. And the most important thing here is that you love sales. You love launching. You love selling. And you create an energy that becomes contagious, and that translates into hype. We go first. The universe responds. We go first. The people respond. That is always the case, and it's the case in this strategy as well. So whenever clients come to me, and this happens a lot with my one-on-one clients, they're like, how do I sell out my program? How do I sell out my one-on-one coaching? I really want this offer to be incredible. My question is always, what is the main thing that you're teaching in this program? So for example, here in Cash, the thing I was selling is sales. So in order to sell Cash, there was one huge big rule that I needed to abide by. And that rule was to never sell Cash unless I wanted to. To never be in the sales energy unless I loved it. Because that was me being in alignment with the program. So the Alpha Femme, the core of this entire brand, is she who leads herself. You lead yourself, people follow. Your people follow. And you don't need to lead them, and you don't need to tell them to follow, because if they love what you're doing and they want what you have, they will walk with you. So the most important thing in creating social media hype and creating a hype around your brand is to be the leading energy always. You have to lead you. You have to lead the energy of the sale. So how do you feel while you're selling? Now, if you really tap into yourself, you might notice that your actual answer to this question is you get the EBGBs when it's time to sell. You get nervous, you get stressed, you hate it, your energy is wobbly, you're waiting for evidence that people are going to buy before you can actually get behind your product. You're afraid, you're not sure, you need other people's validation before you can actually feel good. And I see this happen a lot. I'll ask my clients, how's your energy? And they're like, it's really hard to be happy or energetic when people aren't buying. No, that is not the case. And if that is truly how you're running this, you're gonna come into a problem. The problem is you go first, the people respond. You go first, the universe responds. You go first. So if you're waiting for results to respond to before you're genuinely excited, if you're waiting for it to work before you believe it works, then you're not the leader at all. Your clients are. Your followers are. Either you're leading your business or the buyers are. And that decision is made when you set the hype and you set the context for hype. So in every single thing that exists in the world, there is the content and there's the context. These two things are entirely different. The content is what is inside. The context is what holds the content. So if I wanted to offer you a glass of water, the glass itself is the context. What's inside the glass is the content. The context I set for everything I do in my life creates whether or not the content is going to be well held, well received, well distributed. How can I give you a glass of water without a glass? It's going to go all over the place. How can I deliver a powerful program without setting a powerful context for the program first? I won't know what to say. I won't know where to go with it if there's no context for it. So there needs to be a powerful context for sales. There has to be a powerful context for your launch. And the she who leads herself context is the most powerful one I have ever found. What this means is if I am capable of being the person that you become in my program throughout the sales process of my program, you will buy this program. The people who are right on the edge of becoming the women they need to be, that just need this program in order to calibrate, all they need is my leadership. All they need is to see that I'm going in the direction they want to go, and they'll follow. But they need to see that I'm going in the direction they want to go. So whatever it is you're selling, you've got to embody that identity. If you're selling a relationship program and you're fighting with your partner during your launch, you're going to have a difficult time making those sales. If you're selling an organization program and you're behind on all your things during the launch of the program, you're going to have a hard time selling that program. If you're selling a communication program and you're getting into arguments with people during the launch of the program. So how do you lead yourself the most powerfully? So when you look at your programs, when you look at your coaching, when you look at your product, what is it that you're delivering? How can your energy be as clear as possible around the thing that you are selling? How do you clean up your energy as much as possible in your own life so that there is nothing that is blurring your energy in the context whatsoever? Now, this is actually really powerful in the coaching world. It's also very powerful in the world where you're selling a product. Like, are you using the product? Are you a poster child for that product, or would people expect that you don't use it? It's really important whenever we're selling something that if someone were to look at us and say, okay, this is the person that's selling that, do I trust in the result based on the person selling that? The answer is a big yes. Yes, I trust. Because she leads herself in the actual thing she's selling. So if you would have come into the sales program, the cash program, and there would have been one person in the program, it would have maybe been a little more difficult to listen to everything I'm saying. But in the last week, I think we've got 10 new AFEs. We've had amazing people join the cash program. It's been such an amazing thing. And if you look at how many times I actually talk about it, how many times I actually talked about the program, it's kind of shocking that there's this amount of people in it. But what's incredible about it is that it was all done in the right energy. And the right energy does not require a lot of work. It just requires alignment. So if you choose one of your programs, one of your offers, one of your products, and you ask yourself, what is the result available for a person when they take this? And you journal as far as you can, as much as you can, about what people are going to get in this program. So in the cash program, people are going to fall in love with selling. Their confidence is going to skyrocket because they're finally going to embody that they are enough. Their confidence is going to skyrocket because they're finally going to get behind the fact that they have an irresistible freaking offer and it would make no sense for people not to buy it. They are going to feel so excited and powerful when they walk out of this program. They're going to want to lead themselves. They're going to want to be the version of them that other people calibrate to. This is what I'm getting behind. This energy is what's available for people. That is who I need to be during the program. That is who I need to lead in my life as, not just when I'm on camera selling, not just when I'm sitting writing a sales post. As much as possible in my life, I need to lead with that energy. When I'm selling Femme Fatale, it's all about my communication and my relationship and the way I speak to my friends and my family, and whether or not I decide to have a discussion or an argument about something, or whether I use the tools that I know and use my own magic and my own power. When I focus on my manifestations and I focus on what I'm capable of creating and pulling in my life in that goddess mode, that's when those programs sell out like crazy, is when I embody the mode of the program. This is such a huge piece. And a lot of people skip this piece because they're so busy trying to sell, and they're in their head, and they're thinking about what if it fails, and what should I change, and what do I need to do, and why aren't people buying, and what's wrong. and they're trying to force copy, and they're trying to think of what else they should say and what should I do in another Facebook Live, and maybe the pictures aren't good enough, and maybe they need to rebrand, and maybe they need to run different ads, and maybe there's something wrong with this or that. But the one thing that makes the biggest difference is if I am pulling in my ideal client based on my energy and I attract who I am in this moment, then what does that say about my energy? The people that are in this program right now, the energy's through the roof. Just notice the energy is through the roof in this program. It's amazing. But I attracted that. I could have just as easily attracted a very different group of people. Very easily, I could have attracted a different group of people. But I made sure that I was really leading my energy, and even more, I was never selling outside of that aligned energy, ever. If I could not be crystal clear, I would just live in alignment and not sell. The sales only came in alignment. So during this hype phase, you need to be genuinely excited for your offer. You need to be genuinely excited for your life, because the things that you sell in your product-based company, or the things that you sell in your coaching company, these things, they impact your life in some way, shape, or form. How do they impact your life? How are you grateful for them? How are you living with those things in your life? How do they make your life better? How do they make your life happy? How are you aligning with being a person who utilizes the thing you're selling in the first place? That starts to create the hype. Your energy around the thing itself. And then people respond to your energy. And if you need other people to show you the results first, you'll always be running after the results. You go first, and then everything follows. You go first, the universe follows, the people follow, the buyers follow. So what do you need in order to genuinely be happy and empowered in your own life? Now, this is where things get difficult, because in the coaching realm, a lot of times the thing that gets us down in the dumps is the lack of result. And when I ask my clients, like, what would you need right now in order to shift your energy? They're like, I would need for people to buy. That can't be the thing that shifts your energy. You've got to be able to be genuinely happy about something in your life that is not the result that you're trying to create. Because if it's the result of the thing that you're trying to create that's the only thing that's going to make you happy, you're never in control. You're always going to be at the mercy of results. What can you create that gives you outstanding, unstoppable joy in your life right now? What are you creating right now that creates that? What can you be in charge of for your own bliss? What can you focus on in your life right now that would connect you to how happy and grateful you are right in this moment? Because that's the energy that's needed for people to pay attention and notice. When you're writing your copy, there's an energy that goes from your body to the tip of your fingertips to the screen. And when people see it on their timeline, there is a difference between the post you wrote when you were stressed and you needed to write a post, and the post you wrote in complete alignment. It has a completely different energy. There's a difference between the Facebook Live you did because you had to and the Facebook Live you did because you had so much to say. There's a difference between the sale you make because it's irresistible and you're so excited to talk about it, and the sale you make because you need to sell. So your energy is such a huge piece of this. Setting a context for your life and setting a context for your launches. Now, this is a lady-based community, so I will tell you, it is very important that you plan your launches around your moon cycle. Because there are different phases where you are very creative, you have a lot of energy, and then different phases where you're literally shedding and purging and feeling like things have got to go. And if you're in the middle of a launch while you're in the purging phase of your moon cycle, you're going to find yourself wondering if you should be a coach anyway, if you should even be an entrepreneur, and why is everything so hard? Why did I decide to do this in the first place? I quit. Everyone hates me. I should never have been there. You know what I'm talking about. So if you are the kind of person who gets all over the place during their moon cycle, track it. Make sure that you're using this information in the context of your launch and that you're not at the mercy of your hormones when it comes to needing your power and it's the most important part of the launch and you're having a meltdown. That's not good. So use your moon cycle. You also want to make sure that you have a context for your life within the launch. So, for example, I knew, and I know, that one of the biggest reasons people love to be entrepreneurs, why they love entrepreneurship, is because of the freedom. Selling is one of the most high-paying jobs in the entire industry. It's so amazing. And it creates a lot of freedom because you're making money by selling, not necessarily delivering the work. Like, I'm delivering the work now, but I was paid for it even before I showed up inside the program. So what I knew is that people love to buy and they love to feel like freedom and possibility and potentiality. And people are dreamers. They want their businesses to work because they've got all these amazing dreams and things that they want to see happen in their lives. It's an amazing hype to see someone succeed at all the things that you desire. So how perfect that Kevin and I's engagement anniversary was right at the tail end of the cash launch, where instead of working extra hard, what I actually did was lean back even more and celebrate my life and have time to be with my fiance and do something romantic and fun. Right at the tail end of a launch where a lot of people would be losing their mind trying to rack up the last numbers, I was living in alignment with what it means to be a successful entrepreneur. So what is the context of your launch? Are you going beautiful places? Are you taking pictures that take your breath away? Do you have content to post about because you learned something today and you've got your program or your product at the forefront of your mind, and you've got a picture because you went somewhere beautiful, and you've got a thought because of something you discovered while you were thinking about the thing you're offering? Are you living your life in a way that supports that whatever you're selling is good to have? Or is it an afterthought you're trying to sell so that you can have a sustainable lifestyle? Are you leading with who you are because of what you offer, or is it an afterthought so that you can provide for yourself? That also makes a huge difference in the selling process. So in order to create hype, you've got to be happy. You've got to be aligned. You've got to be living a life within living a context, basically a container that holds your launch in a happy, powerful, excitable way, instead of trying to fit your launch inside of your life and being stressed to try to find content. The content will come effortlessly when the context is set. As soon as you start walking around the world thinking at the forefront of your mind of, it's important for you to be aligned and happy, and you're thinking about your product and your launch and how good things are and how happy you are and how grateful you are and how good it feels, and you're thinking about your irresistible offer, and you're thinking about how much you're enough, and you're thinking about all these things that you're doing, that your aligned person is out there, and you're so ready to make a difference. You are an energetic pull. You're a magnet for the people on your frequency. When you're walking around the world wondering if people care, if they've seen your posts, if your posts are good enough or not good enough, you're polarizing, not magnetizing. And what we really desire is to create an effortless stream of business. And this comes with people loving your energy. This comes with referrals. This comes with people loving your content. But the energy is the most important thing. Because even if someone refers you and says you're the best thing since sliced bread, if they come to you on a day where your energy is low, they'll be like, I have no idea what that person saw. I don't see it. Even if your post that you made, or your offer or your ad that you made is so high vibe and it's so amazing, if when they come and they learn a little bit more about you, what they find is an energy that feels bad, they won't buy it. No matter what you create, it will never outperform your vibe, your energy. And in a world where entrepreneurship is such an incredible thing that we can access, it's so easy to become an entrepreneur. It's just not easy to be one of the top most successful people because of what it takes emotionally. So this is an emotional game. We've talked a lot about emotions in this program, but here it's about your confidence. And I'm not even talking about your confidence in the fact that this is going to work no matter what. And we're going to talk more about that in the program. It's not about this is going to work. It's about even if it doesn't, you're going to be okay. And you're going to learn, and you're going to be okay, and you're going to get better, and the next launch is going to be better, and then you're going to learn, and you're going to be even better, and you're going to be even more powerful, and you're going to align with even more wealthy people who have the means to pay, and you're going to get better, and it's going to grow. It's knowing that you're in this for the long run. It's knowing that whether you're celebrating an accomplishment or learning a lesson in the big scheme of things, in building an empire, in building a large, successful business where you are the leader queen of your empire, this is a good moment, whether it's a lesson or a celebration. Confidence isn't, I've got this, it's going to work. Confidence is I'm going to be okay no matter what. I've done posts that have had crickets and I've been like, what on earth? And then I've checked my energy and I was like, oh yeah. And then I made another post, sometimes even the same day or a day after, and that one gets tons of engagement. And it's like, thank you, universe, for that. I was out of alignment. And I would way prefer to sell to nobody than to sell to the wrong people and end up in a program where I'm faced with having misaligned people in my program. And I'm sure it's the same for you, even if it's a product-based business. Better to make no sales than to get 10 refunds on the 10 sales you made today. We want happy, satisfied buyers that rave about what we do and send so many aligned buyers our way. That's the goal. And that is the hype. Are you genuinely excited about what you're doing? Are you genuinely behind what you're doing? Is your energy there? This is such a huge difference in the people who do a little bit and the people who are taking over. Companies like Tesla and Apple who are launching a new product, people are losing it. Like, they're so excited. Tesla's the first company that ever managed to sell, I cannot remember how many millions they made in car deposits. Before the car was even available, people were buying it and putting deposits to buy the car online. That's never been done before. That is hype. That is, I'm so excited for this car to come out that I haven't even physically seen before. I'm going to put a deposit down to make sure that I can get it when it does come out. That's energy. Can you create that kind of energy in your world? And who do you need to be in order to generate that on a daily basis? So what your homework is here is you're going to look at your offers and you're going to reverse engineer. What are your clients in the ideal world? What are they going to walk away with? Who are they going to become? What are they going to have? What are they buying? What's the result they're buying? And are you embodying that result during the launch so that they can look up to you and calibrate to you throughout the buying process and say, if there's one place on earth I can buy this result, it's right there where that woman is because I feel it off her when I'm near her. That's the vibe. You can do this on all the products you have. You can do this with your one-on-one coaching. You can do this with your products. Notice the vibe. If you're selling something you know is cheap, if you're selling something you know you never use, if you're selling something you don't feel like it works, or it's not worth the money, check in with yourself. And if you do love it, do you use it? And if you do use it, do you show the world that you use it? Let's start tapping into what a world would look like if you wore the results you sell like a full body suit. If you were the mascot for the result. Are you the mascot for the result? And what does that look like? And then post in the group and share with us. I'm so excited to hear about what your experience of this was, what came up for you, and if you're really fired up about your energy right now, or if there's something in the way you need to clean up, I'm there for you and we can dive into that. So I will talk to you so soon. Have an incredible day.